Hi, this is David with entry number, what is it, 646. I'm currently experiencing some tinnitus in this ear. And if you don't know what tinnitus is, it's a constant ringing in the ear, most commonly associated with explosions and hearing damage to the cochlea, I believe, or maybe the bones, the three small bones in your ear. I think it's the cochlea, though. The ear is a fascinating thing. It's I don't really want to get into it, but hearing in its function is immensely fascinating. Not as cool as sight, but definitely pretty cool. Anyway, that's another time. I just got finished speaking with my mom, and it's always a joy speaking to her over Skype. And we closed our conversation with something that I wanted to continue to talk about in today's video, and I didn't want to wait until I was outside because I would probably forget, and so I am recording now. The weather's good, I should say also before I start. It's about about 50 degrees out right now, but it'll get up to about 65 Fahrenheit later, which I think is optimum temperature for my body, for my personage. And so so let's continue. What we were talking about is the idea of actions, and I know for sure I've spoken about that before on these videos, and how actions speak louder than words is kind of the basis of this talk, maybe the thesis. And the secondary point is excuses. Excuses are something that are infamous for being annoying, pointless, and somehow everyone comes up with excuses. What are excuses? Well, there are reasons why we can't do something. And I do feel like this is a two-way street. Excuses can be reasons we do something as well. We do something. But for the most part, I think we associate excuses, our connotation, not our denotation, our definition. Our connotation is that we associate an excuse with a reason for inaction. And what we were talking about is people do things they want to do. People do things they want to do. And I think that is something that is true 100% of the time. Absolutely. 100% of the time. When something isn't done, when an action is not performed, it is because someone does not want to perform it. Now, you can say, oh, I don't know how. Well, guess what? The internet is available, and if you Google search or YouTube search literally almost any action, you can find a video or a tutorial on how to perform it on YouTube. You can say, I don't have the time. And I think that's one a lot of people use, because time is probably the one piece of is the one variable that has certain inextricable and obviously unavoidable things around it. And yes, time can be an issue, a real issue, but let's not forget that there are always instances where you can find time to do almost anything. Unless the task is obviously really big, like writing a report or doing something, I don't know. I'm just saying that if you are alive, if you're breathing, there's time for something, to do something. And busy also is in that, being busy is also in that category as well. But I really feel that people say they don't have time for a lot of things, when in fact you make time to do a lot of boring bullshit that you don't need to do. Whether it be looking at Instagram pictures on your phone, or watching, that viral video someone sent you on Facebook. There are instances, there is time for stuff, and it's just about finding the time to do it, to make the time. So many people are used to saying, I don't have the time, or I'm too busy, and you get in this trap of always relying on saying that. Your friends probably know better than you that you are the person who can't find time to do things. And the reality is that if it's something you want to do, you'll do it. And you'll find the time to do it. And if it's something you don't want to do, whether that be unconsciously or consciously or subconsciously, if you don't want to do it, you won't do it. You'll find excuses to not do it. I don't know how. I don't have the time. I'm too busy. These are things that you say. You make up excuses to not do something because you don't want to do it. And, just look at the things you do. You do perform, the actions you do perform. And think about why you're performing them for a second. Why am I eating? Because I want to eat. Why am I dressing like that? Because I want to be comfortable, or I want to look nice, or I want to, not look like a hobo, or I don't want to smell, because you want to do something. But we don't do the same thing when we look at things we don't want to do. It's always essentially, it boils down to, because I don't want to do that. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. I'll say it again. We do things we want to do. And that's something, at this point in my life at least, that I feel very confident in believing and saying, is that human beings, regardless of where you are on Earth, do things they want to do. And, quite frankly, don't do things they don't want to do. And that can apply to literally every action that we perform, I think. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll talk with you in a couple days. Bye.